Hi, I'm Nathan. I'm a actor, filmographer, photographer, and painter. I'm 100% joking. I don't know how to do any of that. I don't know how to do any of those things. I just know how to Google very well. Anyway, hi, how are you? This is my room that I stay in when I'm at my parents' house, because shockingly, you cannot stay on campus during the summer without paying an exorbitant amount of money that I am unwilling to pay. So, yeah, via the title of what you're watching, we're going to be painting, obviously, so let's just hop right into it, I guess. I'm gonna be so honest, I don't know how long I'm gonna talk during this, because I stay pretty quiet when I paint. It's not, I'm not a real jibber jabberer. No. Anyway, let's get into this. Now here's the funny ha he he. I have this camera set up where I can't look at the canvas directly. So that's a problem. But it'll be fine. It'll buff. It'll buff, trust me. So the first thing I'm gonna do. So the concept for this painting is this flower called the purple clematis. It's a really important flower to an organization that I'm a part of. So yeah, the concept of the back of the picture is really just all these shades of green. Mainly because I don't want to paint leaves. And if we look at some of my older paintings, most of the backgrounds are really dull. They're really basic. So that's kind of the goal here, is to have this really basic background that really doesn't mean much. I did mess up here, but I'll talk about that later. And this really basic background that really doesn't mean much. It really just is there because the subject of the photo matters a little bit more than the background, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. So what I'm doing here is just laying out that nice green layer here, and I'll come back eventually and add different shades and different shapes into the background. I really hope the thing I'm using to capture audio is capturing the sound of the paintbrush. So that's what I find really relaxing about painting. Is the sound of the brush kind of dragging across. Now you're going to notice I'm going with this deeper, darker green in some areas to feel the space. And when I get done with all this green that's on my canvas, and by not on my canvas but on my paint swatch, I'll switch it up. I'll change what shade of green I'm using. So, there we go. the background, done. I really like this. I've never done this type of background before, where it's just a bunch of, all my backgrounds are like one solid color. I like this. It creates this illusion of depth that I quite enjoy, and I'm not mad at. So yeah, gonna wait for this to dry, and I'll be right back. So in the reference photo for this painting, there is this gray pole in the background that is like really blurry. And the thing is, I kind of want to achieve that, but I don't know how. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna wing it. The best way to perform artistic feat. Winging it. So, I went ahead and mixed some gray paint over here. And as you can see, I laid down some paint there. But I'm really just gonna kind of, the pole in the background's really, really blurry. And I mean, like, you can't make it out really. So what I'm gonna do is really just kind of freehand this thing in the background that's not really noticeable, and you shouldn't notice it, whatever. I think that looks fine. I think it looks fine, but you can be the judge of that. Art is subjective, but I like it. I'm gonna finish that. I'm gonna finish this poll. Well, that went faster than I thought. It's done. The poll. Now I just gotta paint the flowers, and then we'll be done. The thing about this is that the flowers are going to be the most intricate part. Because one thing about my paintings is that I really like there to be some parts of the painting that are really detailed. And that's what these flowers are going to be. Interesting factoid about the purple clematis that we are painting is that they have 5 petals. You might be noticing. This one only has 4, and that's because I painted over the petal on accident. So, whatever. We're gonna live with it. I don't really know how far the violet that I've mixed up, if it will focus. It's not gonna focus. It's gonna go. But if suddenly the violet of the main flowers changes colors, that's why. Okay? You'll know why. This is a beautiful shade of violet. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm kind of in love. Hopefully I don't run out, because that would be really, really sad. But that is pretty. I love that. Anyway, hopefully I don't run out of this. This is really pretty. Oops. What can I say? Oh, a thing that I want to talk about in this thing is that I don't know how this made my painting better, but once I stopped thinking about, making the shape, once I stopped thinking that, like, I'm painting this specific object, my paintings got better. And what I mean by that is, like, once I stopped thinking, oh, I'm painting a flower, it got better. Once I started thinking, oh, I'm putting color on this canvas that will resemble a flower, that's when I started getting better at painting and better at, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's when I got better at, like, being able to look at a picture of a flower or something and be like, these are the colors it consists of. This is what it should kind of look like. Let's make it, you know? That's when things kind of like took a big shift, and I kind of like started getting better at painting. Like one time I painted this owl. I'm pretty sure I've shown this owl in this video. But one time I painted it, and I didn't think I was painting an owl. I thought of it as putting a bunch of colors on a canvas to then resemble an owl. And I know that sounds very pretentious. Trust me, I'm aware of my own pretentiousness. But it's true. That's that. Now, I want to go in with a darker shade of violet and kind of make these lines that the flowers kind of have in the middle. They don't have to be exact. I'm gonna be so honest. Detail painting like this with my hands so far away from the canvas, really difficult. I ain't gonna lie. One thing I don't like about working with acrylics is that they dry so fast. And I mean like really, really fast. So like if I'm trying to, let me just show. This piece of purple on this plate right here is really thinned out. And the problem with that is now I can't reactivate it to get more paint out of it because I got it so thin. So, yeah, just a mild complaint I have. A mild, tiny little complaint that really doesn't matter. I'm also going to go in and kind of add some shadows, kind of, differentiate between areas of lightness and darkness, Y'all get the gist. Y'all know how to paint. Some of y'all might, some of y'all might not. As you can tell, this shade of purple that I'm putting on is not that different to the shade of purple that's the base color. That's because flowers tend to, and this is a total made-up reasoning. I just think it looks nice. That's why it's like that. But the reason I think it looks nice in my head, the fictional reason that I'm coming up with right now, is that flowers tend to let light through. They tend to let light go through their petals. So it's really, their shadows aren't as hard, I guess you could say. I don't know what I'm saying. So I've mixed up this lighter purple to add some highlights to it just to make it look a more realistic, because flowers aren't really all like, you see a flower, it's not all kind of one shade of its desired color. Like when you see a purple flower, it's not just like violet or something. It's a multitude of purples inside of the flower, which is quite pretty when you think about it. However, when you're painting, it means you have to pay attention to how many shades you're putting in. I personally like 3 shades. The base, light, and dark. Which sometimes you need more, sometimes you don't need that many. Personally, for this one, I think all you need is... Personally, I think the basic kind of dark, light, mid is fine, personally. But, you know, some people like more detail in their paintings. Some people don't like that much detail in their paintings. Some people like their paintings abstract. Some people like their paintings realistic. It's all about preference. It's all about what you think is artistically pretty. And personally, what I find pretty is being able to see the strokes and like what the person did to make the painting. That's kind of what I like to see. I like to see kind of the process the person went through, which is kind of what this video is for when you really think about it. I just realized how fuzzy it is. You can like barely see it. It's fine. It's fine. It'll buff. Before I go in with the yellow to finish out the center of the flower, I want to add these stems that are inside the original photo. And really, these are just lines, really, that are going to be kind of shoddily drawn. Like, they don't really matter. Like, this little stem, barely noticeable. But I think it adds some form of character to the flowers. You know. And I did sketch this out beforehand, and I did have a stem or so in there. And I think it would be nice to have one of the stems kind of extend outwards in different directions. This stem kind of extend in different directions, kind of like they're connected. You can barely see this on camera, but it's fine. It's fine. It'll buff. Yeah. Period. Slay. So part of this flower is this little yellow inside. And I don't know how to paint this, so we're just gonna go with it. So it's like a little bulb here. This light yellow that I'm using is like really hard to spot. But it'll buff because I'm gonna go in with a darker yellow to kind of make this easier to see. Right now I'm just kind of dabbing to create the bulb shape, which looks weird, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see when I'm going with the darker yellow how it turns out. Oh yeah, that's better in my opinion. That's 10 times better. I like it. The inner bulb is a little abstracted, and it doesn't really match what the bulbs of these flowers actually look like, but we'll be fine. Hi, this is the finished painting. It's signed and everything, you know, as it should be. I quite like it. It's not the most realistic, however, it is mine, and I love it. So, you know, it'll buff. This is something new for me. Most of my videos, or the couple of videos that are on this channel, are me singing, or my short film. Check it out if you want to. They're not really me talking, so definitely a weird departure. But yeah, bye.